We don't care about revenue. Why do we care? Why do we care? I want to build £1 million business. Why? No one cares. So profit. You want to make £100,000 profit. You actually want money to go in your personal bank account. Fantastic. Now what revenue do you need to generate to make the profit? That's a much better question. One of the things that I always ask business owners, the ones that are the most successful, is they can categorically tell me what the business looks like when it's finished, what profit it will make when it's finished, what revenue it will look like, and what the team looks like, and what the culture of the business is, and what your roles will be. If I asked you, what do you want your children to have a life at 25, you don't need to get an Excel spreadsheet to tell me what your ideal for your children would be when they're 25. You say, yeah, I want them to be happy, I want them to, you can, or where would you like to see yourself? If I asked a 16-year-old you, what would you like to be when you're 40? Should I tell you what it is for Party Man? I want it to be a £15 million revenue business with a 2.5 million EBITDA. I want our teams to be fantastic and have a really good time in being part of our business. I want us to be a national brand with brands that families love. Why? Whoa. Why? So it's all revenue driven, but you only so you can have £1 million turnover but lose 100 grand, which lots of businesses are in that situation. But you're not going to be able to sell it until you categorically say no, not until, because loads of businesses they're losing money. Like WhatsApp sold to Facebook with no revenue for billions of pounds. But they bought into the management team. The fundamentals of what you need to do is this chart. So you would say, right, okay, we want to make 100 grand profit in year one. If you can't make 100 grand, you might as well go and get a job. So there's no point in having all the stress of being a business owner for any less. And then you might say, right, we want the business to be a £1 million profitable business in 10 years, because that's something that someone wants to buy. There's a difference between a profitable job and a profitable business. So a profitable business is a business that works completely without you. It's an investment. So the 3 stages of business is job, business, investment. Most people build profitable jobs, like an electrician, a plumber. They got a profitable job, pays their living, lovely jubbly. The next stage is a profitable business. They've started to put some management in place. Maybe they employ 6 plumbers, but they make everything happen. It's a key man business. They are the business, like a restaurant. A famous, the best restaurant in Whittam or whatever, wherever you guys live, there's an owner manager that makes it happen. That's not an investment. Why do people want to buy property to rent out? Because they know in their mind's eye, this is a hands-off investment. I'm going to put a tenant in. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to manage it day to day. So job, business, investment. Well, who wants to buy a job? Who wants to buy a job? No one wants to buy a job. The next stage is in business. You can actually buy my business, but you've got to turn it into an investment. So you've got to think, am I building an investment here, or am I building a profitable job, or am I building a profitable business? Now, in the first stage, you should have a profitable job. And then into year 2, we're turning it into a business. And into year 3, 4, 5, we're working out how we can become a profitable investment. This is how I work it out. A chairman or shareholder up here, CEO over here, heads of departments over here. So this could be sales, ops, marketing, admin, HR, and then down here you have the technicians that do the day-to-day in the business. And then we call this the entrepreneur's pyramid, which works like this. 80% of business owners are over here, 15% over here, 5% over here. This is the profitable job. This is the profitable business. And this is an investment. Basically, you want to be rising up the entrepreneur's pyramid to say, I have got a business that I just turn up to a quarterly board meeting. And over a period of time, that's where you need to get to. That's what successful people do, and they work it out by doing this. They reverse engineer the business. When's the business going to be finished? We want to know the date of when it's going to be finished. We are going to put a date on it. At the end of 12 months, what's the profit going to be? We want it to be a 100,000 profitable business. We don't care about revenue. Why do we care? Why do we care? I want to build £1 million business. Why? No one cares. So profit, you want to make £100,000 profit, you actually want money to go in your personal bank account. Fantastic. Now what revenue do you need to generate to make the profit? That's a much better question. So you might go, well, actually, if we're going to get 10% of all ticket sales to make so we need to build £1 million of revenue to make the 100,000 profit. Brilliant, much better question. What's our team look like that's going to make that revenue happen, to make that profit happen? So let's describe the team that we need to do that, forgetting ourselves. This is a limited company, not a human being. So we're going to need a salesperson, we're going to need a marketing person, we're going to need a bookkeeper, and we write it there. What's the culture of the business going to be like? This is the war plan, by the way, and these are the battles that we're going to fight to win that war. This is the war plan. This is the war plan. These are the battles that we're going to fight to win the war that we've decided. So we're going to have a culture of how we're going to fight our war. Maybe it's going to be great customer service. We're going to be fair. We're going to do all those things. We write it down. Then, crucially, what do you need to do? Who do you need to become, and what do you need to do to have this stuff? What do you need to do? What do you need to become to have all of this stuff? And you write it down. Now, when the business is finished, we start playing fantasy football. What does the team look like to make the million profit, the 10 million of turnover that you're going to need? And we write it all and we start thinking about it ahead of time. So over here you've got a bookkeeper, but over here that bookkeeper is not going to be part of the senior team. We're going to need a finance director. We're not going to need an operations person. We're going to need a managing director at this point. And so we work it all out and we reverse engineer the business so that when I can ask you those questions, you can turn around and say to me, well, I want to do this, this and this, and then you can work on you. And until you do that, don't spend any more money on it. But you don't know what you want to do. Build a brand, no one cares. Your current challenge is you don't know what. This is more important. So what you're doing is you've got loads of battles you want to fight. You haven't got a war plan, which is most people in life. Forgetting business, most people walk through their life fighting battles without a war plan. Most people go to university to kill time. But then there's the smart people that say, I want to be a doctor. So when they go through their studies and have all that stressful time, they've got a war plan. The end, the finish is I'm going to be a doctor. You can't exactly describe exactly what you want. You can't. I've asked you, you can't. You said you want. You don't even know what profit you want to make, do you? What does your team look like? You've got some sensible battle plans, but you haven't got a war plan. All your battle plans are correct, by the way. It's just you haven't. Basically, you're building a house without a set of architect plans. That's how you've got to think. You sort of know what the house looks like. You want it to be nice. You want it to be comfortable, but you haven't got a set of architect plans. You've just got the plans that you think you need because you've done some. But a startup entrepreneur should never do tech to kick off. I'm not going to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on tech and it's never perfect. You shouldn't be doing tech as your first business. It's stupid. You are not Microsoft. You would never get me, even at my level, investing into a technology-based business because I haven't got pockets deep enough. I've just spent £200,000 on our software stuff and they're saying you need another 50 grand to finish it off. You're going to try and create something that works like Excel and Microsoft Word, and you ain't Bill Gates. You haven't got pockets deep enough. You're not Jeff Bezos. Amazon didn't make money for 12 years, and you're trying to achieve that. So I would say, right, let's build an audience. Let's call it HobbiHub. Let's build a brand, build an audience. And how can we generate revenue in the next couple of weeks? And then from the revenues you generate, you invest that in your tech. I built Teddy Tastic, which, I make teddy bears. We make we've made over 1 million teddy bears. We built a £500,000 business in year one without a website, no tech.
How did you do that?
So I knocked on doors and said, would you like to buy these? I made 500 calls and 2 people said yes. So I contacted people that I thought were so I use a flip chart for everything. I would write down 10 people that would be my customers guaranteed if I could get in front of them. So I wrote down Drayton Manor Theme Park, I wrote down Butlins, and then I direct mail messaged them. So I sent teddy bears in the post to them, and we built that business. I got in the car, went to people, but I knew that they would, tech is really hard to sell. Most entrepreneurs come to me, and it's one of my jokes, isn't it? built an app, and I think, oh my God, shoot me now. you know, I just can't stand it, because what people are doing is they're trying to say, right, yeah, we'll compete with Just Eat. You know, Just Eat, you know, like what, £50 million worth of venture capital money, and you'll need to build an app you need like 4 full-time developers. It will never stop. I always talk about steps of it. If you look at my career, I wanted to own visitor attractions. So the stage 1 at 15 was, I'm going to become a magician and do kids' parties, and I will learn how to interact with customers and have instant revenue. By the time I was 17, I bought a house. By the time I was 18, I bought another house from all the revenue that I was making. Then I remortgaged them all when I was 21 and opened our first family entertainment centre. But you've got to build businesses that cash flow day one. So like a coffee shop, you open a coffee shop, you invest in the coffee shop, you are going to make at least £10 by selling 4 coffees on day one. This needs to be branded and out there and compete with some big people on day one. It's not possible. No, I think you should keep it there. I mean, I would be doing, like I told you, like 8 out of 10 mums, I would create a HobbiHub Facebook group and talk about stuff, build an audience. So like 8 out of 10 mums is the biggest Facebook group in Essex for mums, in my opinion. And Sam does that all for free, but she's built a powerful audience. But she's got an audience. Now, if she wanted to monetize that, if she'd come to me and said, I want to start an 8 out of 10 mums app, I'd be thinking, right, you've got 300,000 big audience. That's a different conversation. You haven't got an audience. So this is a difficult business. It's not. So I put businesses into 2 categories: easy, difficult, and difficult, difficult. I always want to do easy, difficult, not difficult, difficult. This is like, to get this going, you'd need a venture capitalist, someone that has got deep pockets. So for me, an easy, difficult would be setting up a successful coffee shop. So if you started with £40,000 worth of capital, and you opened a coffee shop, you would now have instant cash flow. This is not. And I always look for instant cash flow businesses. So from the day I open the door, now I'll not be profitable, but there is some money coming in from day one. So if it was my business, I would continue to build the directory. I wouldn't worry about everyone taking the work, but I would build an audience so that you can be a marketeer for these companies, and then they would pay you a fee to go on there to get customers. Okay. You've got to make content. You've got to be...
Because we obviously do that. We've got Instagram, we've got a video, we've got Facebook. How do we grow that?
See what I'm doing. Just copy what you've got to do at the Bums podcast, the HobbiHub podcast. What was it called? Sorry, HobbiHub. HobbiHub podcast. It's got to be 3 times a week. You've got to make 5 videos a week. You've got to put 25 bits of content a day, preferably 100. Okay. And then you will build an audience, and then you will have something that literally will make you a snowball of money after 3 years of consistently doing it. Okay. You've got to write books. You've got to, that's basically what we do. Speaking on stages, making videos. I mean, just, all of the lot that have gone on Love Island, just copy what they do. Watch them go on Love Island. Beforehand, they've made, 50 Instagram stories a day. They're posting on Facebook. They do 25 tweets a day. Nothing will happen for 6 months. Nothing will happen for a year. But then eventually you will start building an audience. And then once you've got an audience, you monetize the audience. So you think about, you've got to think about Disney. They're a media company that has an operating company on the side. So we'll make Snow White, we'll make Toy Story, but then people want to come on our cruise lines, buy our toys and go to our theme parks. You're an operating company right now without an audience. So you have to buy the audience or create the audience. Buying an audience is very expensive, but works. So now building an audience is free, but a ton of work. I mean, look, I've done 3 books. I wrote articles. I've done, before I sat with you, I've done a LinkedIn Live, a Facebook Live. I've had a meeting. I've done a podcast. I'm going to do another video up in London tonight. We make 2 videos, Monday night, Thursday night, 7 o'clock on YouTube every night. I've only got 3,700 subscribers, but it grows every month. Party Man, you know, we've got Party Man TV, our YouTube channel. New video comes out. We're on TikTok and bibbity bop and all of that stuff. Basically, you got to think yourself, you're a TV channel. Right. So you're ITV, you know, you literally, you know, all of this, I don't want to be on camera. You've got to get over it. Okay. You know, like we're here today at this yoga class and you make a video about that yoga class, you know, you're a media company. So I always say you've got to think that you're running 4 companies in unison. This is what I teach. Company number 1 is the company you are today. What is the company you are today that's going to cash flow the business? So that is an audience building business that charges people to go and you write articles about them and you maybe you do competitions with your audience and people pay to be in those competitions. Company number 2 is this app thing, because that's the company you really want to be. So company number 1 is the company you are today. Company number 2 is the company you really want to be, the business when it's finished. So this company here is the company you are today. This company is the company you really want to be. This company can be the company you really want to be because it's doing these revenues rather than these revenues. Company number 3 is a media company that pushes an audience for these companies. And company number 4 is a property investment company. So you invest companies 1 and 2's profit into a property investment company. So you buy houses, flats, you know, commercial property. That's what I do, and that's where you get paid from property, not from your business, because property. And then so if something happens to you, you're always secure. You know, you need to be sitting around saying, well, how can we make £5,000 this week? Yeah. Basically, entrepreneurs usually the reason they're successful is because they're hungry. You know, they have to. You know, I know you might have partners that have got jobs that, you know, bring in some money into. So like, there's not a need to put food on the table. There's no need to do it. So what usually happens is once that limited time gets closer to right, this is the end. There's a hive of activity and people solve the problem. It's human beings. It's what they always do. It's why deadlines. Like kids, you know, you've got to get your homework in by Friday. Rather do it Friday morning. You know, that human beings have this problem. You know, whereas entrepreneurs, they're just weirdos. You know, we are a weird bunch that, you know, most people, and I think this is right. They work to live, and I live to work. You know, most people get made redundant. They get 60 grand. They take 6 months easy living. And then they go, right, better go and get a job now. Whereas I'd be like, right, I've got 60 grand. I'll get a job tomorrow. And then I'll invest the 60 grand into property and have extra revenue for the rest of my life. The situation is you won't, until you know what you want to build, there is no point in moving any forward. And not battle plans. The battle plans are so important once you know what the war plan is. And what you'll do is you get stressed out because you'll win each battle and it's like next battle, and you're like, why are we fighting all these battles? You know, like the war plan is so important because it makes the battles less stressful. Well, I would start with what profit do you want to make?